Welcome to Seattle, Washington at Key Arena for the NCAA National Championship match. The 12-seed Wisconsin and the 2-seed Penn State. The Nittany Lions seeking a record-tying 6th national championship. The Badgers looking for the first in school history. And this will be the 3rd meeting of these clubs this year. Penn State winning both in the regular season. Wisconsin shocked the 1-seed Texas in the semis on Thursday. And Penn State beat the home team here in Seattle. They knocked out Washington with a sweep. It's best 3 of 5 for the national championship, and Penn State in the white opens up with the service error. Point to the Badgers, who are in red and black. Anne-Marie Hickey, the senior from Oswego, Illinois, serves it short, and Slade gets blocked in the middle by Thomas and Thompson. Both these teams had hot starts in the semis, and they kept their foot on the gas the whole way, both winning in impressive fashion. And we welcome our national audience to Key Arena here in Seattle. The NCAA championship match just underway in the opening set, best 3 of 5. The 12-seed Wisconsin in the red and black, the 2-seed Penn State in the blue and white. Beth Mowens, Karch Karai, and Maria Taylor with you. And for the first time in the 33-year history of this NCAA tournament, it is an all-Big Ten final. Penn State seeking a record-tying 6th national championship. And Wisconsin looking for its first, and they would be the lowest seeded team to ever take home the trophy if they can get the upset tonight, as Deja Mcclendon scores for Penn State.
Well, the monster just got even scarier 2 days ago, and Penn State probably played its best match in the last 3 years since they won in 2010. But we also saw Wisconsin that day take and slam down another monster, the #1 seed in the defending champion Texas.
Thompson slides out to the right for the kill. All Big Ten national final. First time that 2 teams from east of the Mississippi are getting together in the championship match. And this is the 3rd meeting of the year. Penn State took down the Badgers twice, and they took them down hard in the regular season, needing just around an hour and a half to take care of business in a match in October and another in November. As Ariel Scott gets the kill for Penn State. But this Wisconsin side, Karch, the remarkable story this year in college volleyball, unranked in the preseason, decimated throughout the year with injuries that didn't matter one bit to them. They are undersized again tonight, as they have been all season, as they continue to defy the odds.
And they've come in with a new coach, a new freshman setter, and a new attitude and a belief that they can contend in a very tough, clearly probably the toughest conference, the Big Ten, that has now put 2 teams in a final for the conference first time ever. And
there is Kelly Sheffield. This time a year ago, he did not even have the job yet. He was still the head coach at Dayton. And after 5 years of missing the NCAA tournament, the Badgers are back. Of course, his counterpart, Russ Rose, 35 seasons on the Penn State bench with the 5 national championships. He's already a Hall of Famer, and he was named this weekend as the National Coach of the Year for the 5th time. Tough pass from Morales, and this will get Penn State a free ball. Micah Hancock, their All-American setter, shoots it outside to Megan Courtney. Point Penn State. And we are even at 5 apiece. We will play to 25 points. You have to win by 2. If we go to that 5th set to decide it, it's a race to 15. And the kill for Wisconsin and Haley Nelson. Each side also gets the 15 substitutions, so you'll occasionally see teams subbing in for defensive purposes as well as serving purposes. and you have that libero in the different colored jersey that cannot attack. They can do everything else. And how about Wisconsin here, Coach? A couple of blocks early on.
Penn State two days ago had 3 hitting errors until almost the very end of the match against a very strong Washington team. Penn State already with 3 hitting errors, and the score is only 7-6 in the first set. A very different complexion to this match. Wisconsin doing some things to stress the offense of Penn State.
Hancock, who has been attacking more in the postseason, got the kill right there. Dumping it over, another slide behind, and the Badgers beat a solo block.
Yeah, and you're seeing that a lot. I like what Lauren Carlini, the setter, is doing. She's setting fast behind her head, and she's getting a one-on-one. You see number 18, Deja Mcclendon, as the sole blocker for Penn State. It's a very difficult set for 2 blockers to get up on. Not enough time. Same thing repeated the other way. Micah Hancock doing such a nice job for Penn State, returning the favor.
Nia Grant, the junior from Warren, Ohio, gets the kill here.
You can see what space there is between those 2 blockers. That's why setters run that play, and hitters do very well with that off. Certain hitters can hit that with that layup approach off one leg.
We expect to see tremendous things from both these setters tonight. A pair of All-Americans. There's the freshman bumping it, Carlini. And Hancock, the junior for Penn State, missed on that swing wide. Already 4 service errors here in the opening set. A first title at stake here for Wisconsin, for Penn State. Stanford has 6 Division I national championships. Penn State could tie them with a win here tonight. Hancock looks for Deja Mcclendon. Popped up with the defense. Anne-Marie Hickey, the libero. Slade will try this time, and Katie at 6'6" is the tallest on the court tonight.
And keep an eye, one of the big storylines from 2 days ago was Micah Hancock's serving at the line. She went on 2 7-point runs against Washington. The first time Wisconsin controlled her serve. Let's see what happens now. That left-handed serve is a wicked one. It curves to the passer's left, and they get a near ace.
And Mcclendon finds the corner for the kill.
The opportunity, though, all started by Hancock, so this is going to be really important for Wisconsin to shift over and try. There's those 2 service scoring runs that she had 2 days ago, forced Washington to burn 4 timeouts in those first 2 sets.
Off the tape and over. Carlini looking to set up Morales. Back outside, Ariel Scott, who leads Penn State in kills this year. Here's Morales trying to tip, blocked by Penn State. Hancock, Slade in the middle, got it. Point Penn State.
And Slade was also, everybody was money 2 days ago, but Slade has been scoring with this. We call that a tight quick or a front 1. The hitter wants to be up in the air or just leaving the ground as the setter contacts the ball. Slade has been devastating with that particular attack throughout this tournament. And another opportunity now for Penn State with that pass going off the net.
Morales.
Tough matchup with Morales. So at 5'7" against a 6'4" blocker.
And something that the Badgers have been successful at all year, Coach. They're shorter most often, but they are tooling the blockers and not worrying about going over the top of them, as Thomas gets the point to even things up. And then misses badly wide right outside of the antenna. Point Penn State. So the first time Hancock serves, Wisconsin holds her to just the 2 points.
Yep, she's already had 2 turns and only scored twice. She scored 71 at a 71% rate 2 days ago. Normally, you're doing great if you score a point for every 2 serves that you make. She was scoring a point almost every time she served.
Dominique Thompson, the junior out of Plymouth, Minnesota, had 12 kills and 5 blocks in the upset win over Texas in the semis. Hancock looking again for Scott, gets the kill. The 6'4" senior out of Ridgewood, New Jersey. And the last couple of seasons, a first-team All-American for the Nittany Lions. This is the libero, Dominique Gonzalez from San Antonio. Got it across with the tape job and the ace.
This one clipping the net, but even before it clipped the net, it was moving wildly. Servers in this type of serve want to hit the ball with no spin. There's another one with no spin. It'll take a knuckleball effect.
Chapman, dug by Gonzalez. Grant couldn't put it away. Sliding behind Thompson. And a whistle against Hancock with the double contact. Point Wisconsin. Both these teams served it so well in the semis. It was a big advantage for both sides in their wins.
Yeah, Texas, the #1 seed, could not handle the serving of Wisconsin. Wisconsin put them completely out of their offense. So far, Megan Courtney, attacker for Penn State, #17, the outside hitter, has really been sharp, hitting with range, hitting with lots of different shots, getting the ball to the floor. And then in the other semifinal, Penn State's serve was devastating also against a very good passing Washington team, champion of the Pac-12.
There's one of those substitutions. Lacey Fuller on to serve. Thomas out of the back row. Penn State with the coverage. And again, it's Courtney. And this time the hitting error. Point Wisconsin. Carlini serves it to Mcclendon. Good defense again there by the Badgers. So now Hancock looking for Grant. Popped up again. Courtney high off the hands. Carlini to Chapman, and it's stuffed. They tried to attack over the shorter setter, and Hancock alongside Grant sent it right back. Midway through this first set, Penn State by a couple. Let's check in now with Maria Taylor.
Well, I just checked in with the Wisconsin huddle, and right now Kelly Sheffield telling his team they're hesitating a little bit too much on defense. He wants them to do a better job with their crossing routes. Also explaining to his setter, Lauren Carlini, all the success right now is running behind all those quick sets from their middle. They're going to be looking to go there again with either Dominique Thompson or Haley Nelson, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Maria. This Wisconsin team coming in at 28-9, and their road through the tournament. Milwaukee, Cal, FSU, and then Purdue in the region final, followed by that huge win on Thursday night in the semis to take out the defending national champs. And the one thing that they have always been able to count on this year, Karch, has been their defense, and they are doing a good job thus far, digging a lot of balls. 5 hitting errors already for Penn State as well. That matches their total from the semifinal. And that will drop wide. Point Penn State. For the Nittany Lions at home to beat Brooklyn and Utah, then hit the road to beat Michigan State. And that thrilling region final coming from behind in the 5th set to knock out Stanford, and then just dismantled Washington in the semis in one of the best performances we've seen in the semis in quite some time.
Left a lot of Husky fans baffled and stunned here in Key Arena in Seattle.
6 different Penn State players with a kill thus far. They've been spreading it around. Thompson leading the way for Wisconsin. She's got 3. Here's Deja Mcclendon, who did not score real well in the 2 regular season Penn State wins, as the Badgers pick up a point.
What presence of mind by the middle blocker for Wisconsin, #13, Haley Nelson, to look up. Lots of times middles fail to do that, and the ball drops.
Mcclendon down the line for the kill. Deja was the most outstanding player in the national championship match as a freshman, and the senior class trying to bookend their careers with championships.
And they were all talking about how they had that opportunity last year. They reached the national semifinals and just didn't feel like they were playing for each other nearly as much. They've worked hard to change that culture and feel like they're playing much more for each other. That's really, they don't feel like they're playing, they're a lot better as players, just a better team.
That ball did find the floor, point Penn State. And Mcclendon's most outstanding player honor. She has an opportunity tonight to join this short list. Megan Hodge, K.O. Burdine, and Lauren Ketchamani, the only two-time MVP award winners. Penn State on top here in the first. Key Arena and the National Championship Trophy. Outside and on the inside, 18-15 Penn State. Let's take a look at Planning for Success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
It was just 2 days ago Hancock went on those huge scoring sprees. She'll get another chance at the line very shortly. Wisconsin so far controlling it well, and also Penn State with a big height advantage. For Wisconsin, setter Carlini does a great job of creating space for her hitters, and they have been fighting through and hunting down what they feel are the best teams around Penn State, Nebraska, and others in the Big Ten. They're going after the big ones. They did it against Texas.
We've talked a lot about their fighting spirit and playing with tremendous confidence right now. And what a play by Fuller to somehow keep it alive.
And the dig by Fuller.
Hancock in transition to Slade, and Katie Fuller. That won't be in the box score, but Penn State fans will remember it.
And Kelly Sheffield doesn't like the up, but what a cover. You just got to get the ball to hit you, and when you're ready, as Fuller is there, she keeps it alive. Coach Rose said she was huge in that monster match they had in the regional finals against Stanford. They were down 9-6. They came back to win, came storming back to a 12-9 lead in that.
Lacey Fuller, the junior from San Diego, with the defense. And then the nice pass. Carlini bumps it out to Morales, tries to tip it over the top. Hancock on two. Penn State 5 points away from the opening set. And a timeout called by Wisconsin.
Micah Hancock with her left hand presents some real challenges for blockers, because she can set, she can jump hard and choose to set, or she can jump hard and attack, as in that case. And the blocker opposite her, Demi Morales, not ready for that play at all. You got to be aware when Hancock's at the net.
4 straight points there for Penn State. For the NCAA championships, our coverage continues with the FCS championship games Saturday, January 4th at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. For more information on the NCAA FCS championship, visit ncaa.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships. And Karch, it's a good time to point out as well that Hancock was recruited by Penn State to be a setter, but she was a hitter throughout her high school career. And we saw again on that play the advantages of a left-hander sometimes to surprise you with that southpaw attack.
And Coach says, you know, if you were to just roll a ball out there and let them do anything, she'd probably be hitting, not setting. And you can see it, how she actually hits. She attacks from behind the service line.
How about some more from Maria?
And one thing that Wisconsin's really been talking about is hesitation. And when you have a front row setter, you do have to stay in front of the play, especially Demi Morales, who's supposed to be shadowing Hancock on that play. But that's something that Kelly Sheffield's really been driving home in all of his huddles.
20-15. Hancock already with a couple of kills to go along with 13 assists and a couple of blocks. On the Grant serve, it goes long, point Wisconsin. Badgers will send Anne-Marie Hickey back to serve.
And this isn't a particular rotation. That's an opportunity for Wisconsin to score. They scored in the very first play of the game. They only have to worry about Slade as an attacker, and also Deja Mcclendon.
Carlini just missed it wide. Point Penn State. They'll make a substitution here.
And now Hancock.
Here comes Hancock.
Comes for her third turn at service. Keep an eye on how this serve will curve as a left-handed curveball going from her left to right. She hits it toward that corner a lot.
3 aces and 3 errors in the semi without an ace thus far, and that's her first service error. It's a 4-point set. And here's Courtney Thomas. She was their starting setter last year, set early this year, and then handed the reins to Lauren Carlini and moved to the outside. And Deja Mcclendon with thunder and lightning in that right arm.
Boy, did she bring it, and it was as if the blocker for Wisconsin Morales wasn't even up in the air. Through a huge hole in the block.
She'll float one over. Carlini looking to Morales. And Demi, on her 21st birthday today, gets the kill.
That's going to be important for Wisconsin. They're getting very little production out of that left side, that front side attack. Penn State having much better success out there.
Morales now serving. Hancock chases it down. Scott. And now here come the Badgers. They'll look to Chapman. Stuffed by Slade. Now it's Thompson. Penn State able to push it over. Carlini again. Thompson. Courtney got the tips on it. Slade.
And this is Micah Hancock's favorite time to get the ball is in transition as the rally goes from any team going as blockers and defenders right back into hitters. Katie Slade delivering again. 6
kills already for Slade. Hancock, a little too much traffic on the Penn State side. That'll give Wisconsin a chance. Thompson stuffed by Courtney. Solo rejection. And it's set point.
A one-on-one situation. But Courtney dives into the angle stuff and 24th point.
Best blocking team in the country this year, Penn State. Thompson dug up. Courtney will get the first swing at it. Carlini tried to tip it across on 2. Popped up nicely by Hickey. Here's Chapman. Mcclendon reaches for it. Scott tries to finish. And Chapman able to put it away deep on the tip. They save a set point. Here comes another. Hancock looking for Scott, and that'll do it. Penn State wins the opening set 25-19. And the 5-time champs dancing pregame and celebrating a bit after the opener in the national championship match.
Fatigue, pain, tears, sweat and sacrifice and commitment. I love what I do. Do you? Welcome to the postseason.
Well, Deja Mcclendon brought home that championship trophy as a freshman, trying to do it again as a senior, and has really become a complete player over the course of her career. Karch, just the 6th Nittany Lion with 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs, and a good start for her tonight.
And Coach Rose calls her their best player. She does it all. She stays in the whole game and has to play defense, serve tough, do a lot of serve reception, and of course a lot at the net in her offense and defense with blocking.
One thing I think we're seeing right now with Penn State guys is they use their height to their advantage. They contact the ball very high. That's one thing that Kelly Sheffield was saying. There's going to be some balls that are going to be out of range for us, but if we can get a good touch, let's make sure that our block touches tip the ball into the air and allow us to play defense behind it.
Yeah, you're right, Maria. They had 19 kills, did Penn State, and hit 350. They weren't disrupted as much as Wisconsin would have liked, and as Maria reported earlier, Karch, back to the offense for the Badgers, just 9 kills and only $152.
And if you look at the 2 left side hitters for Wisconsin and the opposite for Wisconsin, we would call them the pin hitters, the non-middle hitters. Between them, they only have a net 1 positive point. Meanwhile, for Penn State, there's a +8 on that side for Deja Mcclendon, Megan Courtney, and Ariel Scott, winning the game at the sideline so far for Penn State.
So let's see if the Badgers and Lauren Carlini can get Demi Morales, number 7, and Ellen Chapman, number 20, going a bit here in the second set. for Wisconsin. They were led by that woman right there, Dominique Thompson, with 3 kills in the first. It's a rivalry that has been very one-sided in Penn State's favor over the years. And earlier this season, regular season, 2 sweeps for Penn State over Wisconsin, as these two teams are meeting for the first time an all Big Ten final. And there's Thompson. The slide was really their most effective play.
Thompson from Thomas. Courtney Thomas, number 3 for Wisconsin, was a setter the last few years. And so she turns into the setter in case their normal setter, Lauren Carlini, makes the first contact.
And we've talked about it as Penn State picks up a point. The adversity that this Wisconsin team has had to overcome. Not only the coaching change and handing the reins to a freshman, but a ton of injuries this year. They had players that were so selfless, playing out of position at first and then moving into the strong spot when people started coming back from injuries.
Including Courtney Thomas, who just said, hey, coach, whatever you want to do. We'll run a 1-setter offense, a 2-setter offense. You tell me, I got your back. Katie Slade at 6'6". She was on the ground and just standing and swatted that to the floor for an easy point. The Wisconsin team has to do a better job of expecting the ball to get blocked against this very strong blocking team and be ready to take a third, a fourth, a fifth swing, longer rallies.
Slade picked up match point in the 2010 championship match with a block, and there the ace for Hancock. And can she get a run going here on her serve?
And watch the curve on this as it goes toward the corner. She so often serves that way. Now has scored 2 points in a row. Wisconsin got to be very careful to control her serve.
The pass from Taylor Moree. It'll end up with Morales. Back set. Scott Hickey was there. Opportunity for Penn State. Hancock again goes back to Scott. Cross court off of Carlini.
And that is a brutal matchup. 6'4" Ariel Scott hitting against 5'7" Demi Morales. That was something that Penn State looked at going in. Just an easy matchup to win. Wisconsin may have to think about changing their starting order. You can have any one of your 6 servers at the line first, and they might want to rotate around so that Scott's not matched up against her.
Penn State goes right back to it and scores again. And they have now scored 5 points to just 1 error on the Hancock serve. And they have jumped on top early in the second. Penn State on a 5-0 run here in the second. They took the first 25-19 in our national championship match. Well, Capital One Bowl Week continues Monday on ESPN. It's the Ohio Bobcats and the East Carolina Pirates in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl, Ohio and ECU, Monday at 2 on ESPN, and also live on the Watch ESPN app. Can't wait to join my buddies Joey Galloway and Paul Carcaterra on that one down in St. Petersburg in a couple of days' time. And, well, how about the football player out here in Seattle right now, Russell Wilson, who spent a year at Wisconsin playing some football. His tweet the other night after their semifinal win, #OnWisconsin. Right now it's a serving spree, however, for Micah Hancock. Carlini looking for Thomas. Mcclendon. How about Mcclendon getting the assist cross court to Scott? And they're taking advantage of this right side mismatch.
And that's such a nice decision by Deja Mcclendon. She could see Hancock coming over, but she was going to arrive too late. Puts Ariel Scott up. A very hittable set, and Ariel Scott going right over the 5'7" blocker Morales.
Morales through the block and got it. That ends the 6-0 run, but Hancock very effective early in this second behind the service line. Going to be an opportunity here for Wisconsin. The pass to Carlini, right back to Morales. And some problems on the pass for Penn State. Point for the Badgers.
And you could see Penn State challenging Morales to try to win this point, leaving her just one blocker. Nice hustle by Micah Hancock. Remember, it was just a year ago in the national semifinal that she got injured, had a badly sprained ankle, and the team missed her. In the rest of that, they had a lot of regrets.
Yep.
Came back stronger this year.
Ended up losing to Oregon in the semis a year ago. That's been a real motivation for them to come back to try and win the championship. As Ariel Scott is taking over this second set. Another kill for her.
Wisconsin just can't find an answer for Scott using her height. Attacking that ball with a straight elbow, so her arm is high. Ball goes over the 5'11" middle blocker for Wisconsin.
She's got 7 kills now in the match.
And Scott with a defensive hustle there. Also, they leave a wide open net for Morales.
Well, they've got to try and figure out a way to bust up the Penn State rhythm right now. They're playing with such poise, such confidence. They come into this championship match riding a 24-game win streak that has spanned the last 85 days. Cross court for the kill there from Courtney Thomas.
Boy, what a nice set by Lauren Carlini. I like how she got her feet to the ball, contacted at a high point, and kept the speed of that, running forward and setting backward to create space for her hitter.
And how about the year the freshman Carlini is having, Karch? This is a young lady that may be spending some time with you on the U.S. national team in the not-too-distant future.
And that's one of her aspirations for sure. She would like to be a setter for a U.S. Olympic team. Talking about it openly, even before she ever got to Wisconsin.
Tremendous leadership for a youngster. Gonzalez, tough serve. Point Penn State. Gonzalez, who her teammates call the stabilizing influence for this Penn State squad. Had a couple of older sisters that played college volleyball that she used to tag along with, as Thompson gets the kill. Point Badgers. Katie Kavas, the junior from Eagan, Minnesota, on. Mcclendon to Hancock to Grant before the block could even get up.
So we've seen some of the nice things Carlini's doing. Micah Hancock returning the favor. Watch how high she puts this in a perfect spot. Mia Grant contacting that as high as she possibly can. Full extension over 2 blockers.
Penn State hitting close to 600 now in the second set. Carlini out to Chapman. Courtney off speed. Carlini tried to dump. Hancock tries. And the kill on the quick to Haley Nelson.
Good work by Nelson. That's not an easy thing to do, to be a middle blocker and then turn right into a middle hitter. Have to sprint off the net and come right back.
Freshman who has provided a lot for the Badgers. This recruiting class 4th best in the country, and there she is alongside Thomas for the stuff.
And that's what Wisconsin's going to have to do, is put more serving pressure on Penn State. This ball is passed way too close to the net. That's all Micah Hancock. That was her only option, is to attack it. That's a better pass.
Chapman is there. Badgers get the block.
And this is a good matchup. We've talked about bad matchups for Wisconsin. This is a good one, with Chapman being 6'5". She doesn't have to elevate off the ground a lot, but gets her hands across into the airspace across the Penn State side of the net.
Wisconsin 3 points in a row, their longest run of the night thus far. And Courtney tools the block. Point Penn State. The 6'2" sophomore out of Dayton, former Penn State camper. Always wanted to be a part of this Penn State program. She grew up watching Penn State during the dynasty days when they won the national championship with 6 All-Americans at 2018. Considered to be the best in the history of the sport.
That was that great quote we heard from former coach at Minnesota, Mike Hebert, and all the success he had there. He said, they just swatted us away like a bug. I've never seen a team with 6 legitimate All-Americans. We never knew what hit us.
Part of their run of 4 titles in a row for Penn State. They're looking to make it 5 in 7 years if they can get the win here tonight. And what a run that was. The 4 straight titles, the senior class that didn't lose a postseason match. Set an NCAA record with 109 matches in a row.
And almost went through a whole season without losing a set. Only 2 they lost was in the national semis against Nebraska.
Wisconsin getting back into it here in the second.
Yeah, that was a better swing by Morales, using the Penn State block to her advantage, hitting the edge of the block.
Looking for Deja Mcclendon, popped up by Morales. Deja again, Hickey digs. Thompson, ping pongs back across. Thompson again, got it. The defense leads to the offense for Wisconsin.
It sure does. Nice ups on both sides of the net, and this is a play that Wisconsin likes to run a lot at. That space with the middle hitter running about 10 feet away from the setter. We've seen how Katie Slade for Penn State likes to run very close to the setter, right down the middle of the court. Wisconsin prefers to spread it out.
Hickey floats one over. Slade will get a swing and slams it down.
A broken play, but when you have somebody who's 6'6", you can just put the ball up in the air and she'll go right over. That wasn't a plan. That's what was forced by a good serve.
Playing the best ball of her career right now is Katie Slade, and here goes Penn State's ace, Micah Hancock. And Wisconsin will get her off the service line quickly.
They got to be happy she had that big run to start this game, and that gave them gave Penn State about a 5-point advantage. Wisconsin has chipped away to within 2. That's the kind of serve Wisconsin needs to create more scoring opportunities.
Thompson. Into the net for Penn State. Point Badgers. They continue to dig Mcclendon well here in this second set.
They sure do, and it starts with the serve. You want to get a serve that forces the opponent's setter to run way off the net. That was created that time so they can have set up a better block against Mcclendon. Oh, nice cover.
Gonzalez somehow kept it alive. Carlini, long way to go for Morales. And now a chance for Mcclendon. That one, though, was set wide. She hits it wide, and the Badgers tie it up.
You're exactly right. You want to keep the ball inside rather than outside that sideline. Bad things happen. And now an 11. Penn State had led 11-5. Wisconsin comes storming back.
They've taken 9 of the last 12 as Slade gets Penn State back on top. Now Deja Mcclendon, the 6'1" senior out of Louisville. Missed it long.
If you're Wisconsin, what you got to hope for, and that's what they've talked about all season long, is just chipping away, pushing against the clear favorite in this situation. And when you can keep it close, you can put extra pressure on them. They're the ones who are expected to win.
Hancock to Slade, a headshot for the kill.
Slade now with 10 kills. She has been unstoppable, especially attacking that ball in front of the setter.
And now she checks out. So their best weapon thus far to the side. Carlini looks to Chapman. Gonzalez will set. Scott. Carlini back out to Chapman, and she is able to roll it over the top.
It's a good choice by Chapman. You want to mix up your speeds, and there's a huge hole in the center of the court. Courtney just too late getting there with some short defensive responsibility for Penn State. Easy serve there. That's not going to create trouble for Wisconsin. Got to do something tougher with the ball than that.
Off the block, point Penn State. What a hurdle this would be for Wisconsin to clear. This their third match of the season against Penn State. Over 7 sets. They have yet to take one from the Nittany Lions, and they are pushing Penn State here in the second.
And that's why this is so critical for Wisconsin. If they just get that one, they know they can finish it out. But they don't know that. They don't have that belief yet.
Courtney is stuffed, and Carlini is fired up.
That's the nice thing about having a 6'2" setter. Carlini sealing the line with a strong right hand. And coming up with a nice serve that creates a scoring opportunity.
Back to Courtney, and the hitting error into the net. And Wisconsin on an 8-2 run grabs the lead. Timeout, Nittany Lions. Underdogs making some noise down a set in the national championship.
So what does opportunity look like? How do you reach out and grab it? It isn't found, it's created. With equal parts, skill, smarts, and desire. Welcome to the postseason.
Lauren Carlini out of Aurora, Illinois. Committed to Wisconsin under former head coach Pete Waite as a high school freshman. She was the Prep National Player of the Year last year. And when Pete Waite resigned and Kelly Sheffield took over, she didn't make any bones about it. She said, Coach, I love Wisconsin. I want to come to Madison. Don't worry about me. I will be there. You take care of business and get us ready to go for the opening day.
Even though everybody under the sun was going after her, thinking, okay, here's an opportunity. This team, this program has switched coaches. Maybe she'll change her mind. No doubts once she had that first conversation with Sheffield.
Penn State goes back to Courtney, and Morales digs her up. And they get another one.
Guys, we're seeing Wisconsin's outblock Penn State right now 5-4, and it's because their pin hitters are doing a better job of setting up those blocks. And they're also doing a good job of holding inside when the set stays inside, so that's helping their defense right now.
Well, they trailed by as many as 6 earlier in this set, now up a pair. And they'll get a free ball here. Last year's setter outside to Chapman Thomas. Hancock. And a net violation called on the Badgers. Russ Rose looking for a change here. He brought in Paulina Prieto-Cerami, who took that last swing, and now she will serve.
For Megan Courtney, trying to create more offense. Part of the problem for Penn State is the good defense by Emery Hickey, the libero for Wisconsin, coming up with some monster defensive plays.
And they continue to have Katie Slade out of the rotation right now, their best hitter thus far tonight. Scott, long, and Morales called it, and Hickey laid off it.
Yeah, and you can see Penn State has left Ariel Scott in the backcourt. They don't always do that, but they think, okay, here's an opportunity to get her the set behind the 3-meter, the 10-foot line. She hits that one out. Her 2 swings from the backcourt have been very tentative so far.
The service error for Chapman. It's a 1-point game. We are in a race to 25, have to win by 2. And the Wisconsin Badgers, they knocked out the top seed on Thursday, looking to take out the 2 seed here tonight and become the lowest seeded team to win a national championship, coming in as the 12 seed. They finished in 4th place in the Big Ten this year. And here they are, the last 2 standing, as Demi Morales continues to enjoy her 21st birthday.
Lauren Carlini is locating her sets a little better in this game for her left side hitters. They're producing a lot more and have earned them that 2-point advantage as they try to close this out and tie the matchup 1 set apiece.
Katie Slade back into the match for Penn State. They go right to her, and the block was up for Wisconsin. Carlini out to Morales. Tries to roll it over. Back outside, the tip from Mcclendon, covered by Carlini. Slade in the middle. Now Carlini to Thompson. Missed it wide. Point Penn State.
And that's where Wisconsin likes to attack in transition with Dominique Thompson, number 14 on your screen, but she didn't get a solid enough contact on the ball. It goes out of bounds. A lot of the fans are upset. They thought there was a touch off the block. And here comes Micah Hancock at the line for another service turn.
Carlini, cross court, Morales. Hancock out to Mcclendon, off the block, point Penn State. Seven points now, 1 on the Hancock serve to 1 service error. She does not have an ace yet, and a timeout called by the Badgers. Back and forth we go in this second set after Penn State took the opener 25-19. And let's send it over to Maria Taylor with Mark Emmert.
That's right, the NCAA president. And you were a part of just selecting the city of Seattle. Why did they become the city that should host this NCAA tournament?
Well, there were a lot of bidders, of course, for all of these championships. And the selection committee liked Seattle. They love the facilities. But they also know it was a community that really likes volleyball, really supports the game. And this arena tonight shows that.
Well, your niece was a pretty impressive college volleyball player, so you know the sport. How have you seen it grown during your tenure as NCAA president?
Well, you know, when I was president of LSU in Washington, and then now in my job with the NCAA, it's been an enormous growth of the popularity of the young women and girls that are coming into the sport, the fan appreciation for it. It's really been pretty stunning. And again, you feel it tonight in this arena.
Absolutely. I'll let you go enjoy it again. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Maria. Of course, Mark Emmert used to be the president out here at the University of Washington. And kudos to Coach Jim McLaughlin at Washington and the fans out here, the Husky fans. McLaughlin over the last couple of days very vocal about saying, hey, even though we lost in the semis, we need to show support for the sport and fill the seats. And it's pretty jammed in here tonight again for the championship.
Yeah, he said, I'm coming. You got to come out too. Yeah. I don't know who I'm going to cheer for, but we're going to appreciate good volleyball and his player, Krista Van Sant, National Player of the Year as a junior outside hitter for Washington.
So here we go, a 2-0 lead for Penn State, or all even at 1 apiece. Can Wisconsin close it out here? And Penn State, since Slade has returned, they've run off 3 in a row.
And Coach Sheffield was happy to have a timeout to cool off the server, Micah Hancock, but still she scores another one. It's really important for Wisconsin right now to control this serve, put it in a good spot so they can run their offensive pattern. That's the pass that they want.
Back to Morales from Carlini. Courtney defensively. The set out to Deja Mcclendon, who's hitting below 100 thus far in the match. Have not been able to get her rolling. They'll try Scott. Way off the net, though. Here's Carlini. Back to Morales, trying to use the fingertips. Double contact, I believe, whistled against Hancock. Point Wisconsin. Thomas has been effective behind the service line. Another good one there.
Yeah, what a serve.
As Penn State scrambling, Carlini checks the scene, finds Morales through the block, and the Badgers are on top.
Give Courtney Thomas all the credit for that play. When you're serving, it's tougher to score points because the other team has the ball. As Penn State calls a timeout, Russ Rose very upset with his passers. But this serve causes all kinds of problems for Penn State. Watch how short it drops right down the sideline. Megan Courtney not ready. And so Wisconsin gets the easy play. We call that a free ball. They put it over easily. Wisconsin running a perfect offensive set. Another look at how that dives. And Penn State knows that's where she likes to serve the ball, one of her most effective spots. That's what Russ Rose is upset about, that he didn't feel Megan Courtney was over there in time covering that favorite location.
And Thomas, the junior from DeKalb, Illinois, really encapsulates all the storylines for Wisconsin this year. She missed a couple of weeks with an injury. She is also a player that switched positions this year for the good of the team. Was the setter last year and again early this season until Carlini returned from an injury. And then moved out to the right side, has been learning on the fly, and more than anything, has been a terrific teammate and mentor for the freshman setter Carlini. And now the Badgers are 2 points away from doing something that they could not do in their 2 regular season matches, and that's take a set from the Nittany Lions. Thomas is still back there serving. And the error evens it up. Now for either side, if you can get 2 in a row here, you'll take the set.
I don't understand why she decided to go to a different spot there, going cross court and serving it right into the net. I would go right at Courtney, who had trouble with the last pass. And now Wisconsin out of system.
Carlini to Morales. The big block was there for Penn State. Scott gets a better swing at it. Hickey covers. They'll go back to Morales. Slade is there. And then Thompson jumps on it. Set point, Wisconsin. Service error, 2 in a row.
And if you want to slay the giant, that's not the way to do it, especially after they created so many problems with the last serve that actually went over the net and in the court.
Ball goes back over to Penn State's court. Dominique Gonzalez.
Another poor pass.
Carlini to Chapman. Popped back over by Gonzalez. This is Chapman again. Hancock was there. And the kill for Ariel Scott, and now it goes over to set point Nittany Lions.
There's the pass.
Carlini stuffed at the net, still up. Hancock, the back set. Scott ends it. Penn State fights off a set point and then rattles off a few in a row, and they take the 2-0 lead and are now 1 set away from a 6th national championship. Here's Maria Taylor now with Coach Kelly Sheffield.
Okay, Coach, you had set point. What happened? Why do you believe it slipped just out of grasp?
Well, 2 missed serves at the end. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, you know. It's, but we're playing a lot harder there. You know, we served a lot more aggressively. We defensively, we were playing balls in the seams a lot better than what we were coming out of the gates. You know, we just made some errors there at the end of the ball game when it was on the line.
We also saw your blocking improve at the front row. What do you feel like changed with the physicality at the net for your team?
Well, I thought we started out the match a little bit on our heels a little bit, but I thought we started punching back a little bit. You know, you can't make those errors at the end of the game, but I love the way that we're playing right now. I mean, we're playing hard, we're being aggressive, we're going after our serving wise, our middles are really driving. Just got to clean up a little bit of errors at the end. But, you know, I mean, what a way to win a championship if you're down 0-2 and come back to win. So we're still fighting. Thank you.
Well, Kelly Sheffield just mentioned it. It has happened before. In fact, 3 times a team has rallied from down 0-2, but it's Penn State in command here in the final. An all Big Ten affair for the first time in the 33-year history of this tournament, and Penn State now 1 set away from a 6th national championship. Beth Mullins, along with 3-time national champion UCLA Karch Karch, so close for Wisconsin. They had a set point and 2 late service errors, costly in that second.
And 4 total service errors in that second game. Every other way, they really played them even, but they let Penn State off the hook, created a lot more work and a huge hole to climb out of.
Not unprecedented, we will say that for you Badger fans. It has happened before that a team has rallied from down 0-2. Let's check in with Marie Taylor.
Well, Russ Rose told Penn State that they were lucky to walk away with the win in set 2. He would like them to be a little more disciplined with their contacts, though, guys. Felt like it was starting to fall apart towards the end of that second set.
And Penn State fans will recall the 2009 national championship when they were down 2-0 and rallied to win it in 5. They will try and prevent the Badgers from doing the same, as Wisconsin will have to come from behind to win its first national championship. They are the 12 seed, seeking to become the lowest seed to ever win it. Joust at the net, and it will fall on the Badgers' side. As we check out our match summary, Hancock, 29 assists, 9 digs, just the 1 ace. Penn State out hitting Wisconsin. Carlini's numbers, 21 assists, 4 digs. Scott and Slade leading the way for Penn State in kills. Thompson and Morales for the Badgers. And a net violation on Penn State, point Badgers. They have shown that fighting spirit all year long, has Wisconsin. They have played with the best, Karch, and have more than held their own with the one exception, and that's the team on the other side of the net that has beaten them twice and now is up 2-0. They haven't dropped a set to Wisconsin all year.
That's why that last set was so huge. Wisconsin, if they had been able to close it out, they finally get that belief, like, we can get one set. If we know we can get 1, we can get 3. They still have to prove to themselves that they can take a set and beat this team to 25 points.
Point for Penn State, up 3-2, and now Micah Hancock. We've been racking up the points on her serve throughout this tournament. Semis and finals after she didn't serve it as well in the early stages.
Ooh. That was Carlini's worst set of this match. Got her feet there pretty early, but mistimed it. And she's going to need to locate her hitters, especially a 5'7" left side hitter, Morales. That's who she was aiming for. Need to get back to her good location.
Hancock, long, point Badgers. So she gets him a point and then gives one back. This has been the most effective server tonight for Wisconsin. It's Courtney Thomas.
And she's one of those servers who missed late after creating a point scoring opportunity in the last set.
Thompson gets the kill, point Badgers. Courtney, the pass to Hancock, the back set to Deja Mcclendon into the net. As Deja continues to struggle tonight.
Maybe a little bit of nerve setting in. That was Mcclendon's worst swing into the net. Almost went under the net, almost hit her own player as she was trying to hit such a sharp angle.
Bad pass there from Courtney, and that will give the Badgers a free ball. Back set, Thompson, got it. Good look from Carlini.
And Thomas having success serving Megan Courtney down here. I'm still baffled as to why they changed late in that set. She got her in trouble once and then served cross court into the net. Let's see, now Penn State's trying to cover up for Megan Courtney down the line, but they still get it in her zone.
Through the block for Ariel Scott after Thomas had won 4 of their 5 points on her serve for the Badgers. And now it's Mcclendon. Through the block, that slide again behind is good for Thompson.
And one of the beauties of this is it doesn't go very high over the tape, and it doesn't give blockers a lot of time to set up. They have to take a shorter, quicker jump, and they don't get up as high, don't get their hands across the net as far.
They try to serve at Courtney again, but Gonzalez helps her out, and then Scott gets the kill. As Penn State sneaks the libero over to help out on the pass. And now here she is to serve. Carlini looking for Thompson. They continue to work that right side. Point Badgers.
Yeah, and they're going to it whether Penn State sends 1 blocker or 2 blockers. They've got a lot of confidence in that. And Carlini is locating that ball better. So she's going with what's more comfortable right now, too.
13 kills for Thompson. Hancock looks for Scott. That's 14 kills for Ariel tonight.
Yeah, with only 1 error on all of those kills, Wisconsin just not coming up with any answer for Ariel Scott.
Carlini out to Chapman. Hancock to Courtney, stuffed. Point Badgers as Carlini goes back behind the service line. Can a freshman lead the comeback? Only 3 other freshmen in history have guided their teams to a national championship. In over 3 decades of this tournament. And Courtney gets some help from Grant.
That is a higher set. See how long it's in the air. So now Megan Courtney, number 17 for Penn State, can get her hands way across the net into Wisconsin airspace.
Substitution coming on to serve for Penn State. Kendall Pierce, her first appearance in the match. Point Penn State. Out of Eden, New York. Carlini behind her, covered by the Nittany Lions. Carlini again at the net. She'll push it out to Chapman. Looking at Deja Mcclendon, and it's rejected.
Wisconsin's definitely shored up its right side blocking. This time Thomas making a nice move to stuff Deja Mcclendon, who came out on such fire 2 days ago. Her whole team hitting above 500 for almost the whole match against a very strong opponent in Washington.
Hancock on to Carlini sliding in there. Thompson just missed it long. Point Penn State.
Not a great choice by Hancock to put the ball over so softly. A good defense should come up with that, and Wisconsin did, but they couldn't take advantage of the opportunity.
Mia Grant to serve. Katie Slade rotates back in up front now at 6'6". Hancock chicken wings at Mcclendon. Deja misses that one wide.
It's like both teams had a little too much time to think about it during the intermission. Very uncharacteristic errors. Some easy plays, some poorly located sets. That pass goes too close. That was an easy serve for Gonzalez. She just couldn't control it.
You know, after that play, Deja Mcclendon hitting it out, Russ Rose telling her, you don't play like that. That's not your game. Like you said, very uncharacteristic, but he's trying to get his player right back in it at this point, guys.
They'll go to Slade here instead, and Carlini, the back set to Thomas with the tip. Oh, what a diving get by Lacey Fuller.
Love that hustle.
Carlini out to Morales. Looking to Slade. Carlini to Thompson, stuffed. And it's a point for Penn State. Lacey Fuller has made a couple of huge defensive plays tonight.
And Coach Rose said she was huge last Saturday in the regional finals. Watch her laying it out to get that ball up in the air. Slade with the near stuff, and then confusion on the Wisconsin side. By now, they should know who's going to play that ball. It's the end of the season, not the preseason in August.
Service error for Hancock. 13 combined errors for the teams in this second set. As you referenced, Karch, the intermission not doing either side any good.
It's making for some drama, that's for sure. But I don't know if it's the best played kind of drama.
Scott off the fingertips. Badgers on the move. Morales got it.
That was really located well by Lauren Carlini. You can see how often she's going behind, but she wants to keep the other hitters involved in her offense. Gets Morales in for the kill.
Hancock looking to Scott. And that stuff, that was Carlini that got up there.
Here's that last set by Carlini. The right tempo. You see it doesn't go very high above the net. She puts her hitter, Demi Morales, in a great spot. And then putting her hands in just the right spot. What you want to do as a blocker is get in front of the power shot. Perfectly executed by Carlini against Ariel Scott, who's been very effective for Penn State. Only her second error tonight. Another nicely located set. That's what Morales needs at 5'7".
Terrific D, setting it up for Morales. Wisconsin has rattled off 6 in a row, trying to stay alive here in the third. Penn State leading Wisconsin 2-0, but the Badgers in front here in the third. In our national championship match out at Key Arena in Seattle. And a reminder that today's winning team will receive 60 points towards the Capital One Cup. For more information, log on to ESPN.com/Capital One Cup.
Beth, this is such a crazy game. Who would have thought Wisconsin is hitting 0 this game, and they're up by 3 points because Penn State's hitting minus. Just the ebbs and flows and how different things can happen. Both teams much more solid on offense in sets 1 and 2. But service pressure, that's the kind of serve that Wisconsin wants to have and creates the scoring opportunity.
They continue to serve it at Megan Courtney. They've scored the last 6 points. Scott with the tip. Carlini looking for Morales. Dug up. Point Badgers.
Kelly Sheffield really praising his team's fight right now, guys. And remember, when he came to Wisconsin, that was one of the questions about this team, whether or not they could fight when they were down with their backs against the wall. That was the big amount of praise in the timeout that just followed.
Well, obviously, Russ Rose concerned. A quick timeout to chat with the Nittany Lions. Badgers showing some fight here in the third. They lead at 16-12. They need to win the set to extend the match. And this week's installment of Monday Night Football is in San Francisco. It's the Falcons and the 49ers. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6:30. Then it's Atlanta. The Falcons and the 49ers, Monday at 8:25 Eastern on ESPN and also live on the Watch ESPN app. Of course, they got a big showdown here in Seattle as well. The Seahawks can clinch the home field for the playoffs tomorrow. Former Wisconsin quarterback Russell Wilson been following the action this weekend. Morales long as Courtney, did not get out of the way. Point Badgers.
Morales with yet another kill, and Courtney line.
Weekend. Morales long as Courtney, did not get out of the way. Point Badgers.
Morales with yet another kill, and Courtney line.
Point Penn State.
Interesting how Coach Rose didn't want the wheels to fall off, didn't want to get it out of hand, so called 2 straight timeouts. One of them, he actually circled up his starters, separated them to have a talk.
Morales with another kill, able to push it through the block.
What a smart play by Morales. Instead of trying to hammer it and get stuffed, just taps it through.
Just 5'7", the shortest hitter in the Big Ten. She says, I am prepared every night to be a target. The service error said, I know teams are coming after me. I know I'm not going to be able to hit over the top of folks, but I've got to be creative in how I use those blockers to get my kills.
And she is. She's doing a really nice job now, but having trouble serving the ball over the net. That one hitting her own player in the back of the head.
Courtney, solo. Point Penn State. Penn State took the opening set, and then Wisconsin had a set point in the second. 2 late service errors cost them. They are up 3 here in the third, and now it is Wisconsin taking the timeout. Both coaches, Karch, quick to try and stop the opposition from getting any momentum.
And I think they're doing a nice job. This is such a critical third set that Penn State didn't want it to get out of hand, and now, of course, Coach Kelly Sheffield of Wisconsin wants to maintain that lead if he can, and maybe have a little cushion in case his team misses another serve at set point. They might still have a chance.
Our match headlines. First time it's an all Big Ten championship. Wisconsin, the lowest seed to ever get this far in the tournament. They were swept on a couple of occasions during the regular season by this Penn State team that is looking for its record-tying 6th NCAA title. Stanford holds the record. Well, NCAA championship coverage continuing with the FCS championship football game on Saturday, January 4th at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. For more info on the NCAA FCS championship, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships.
Well, talking to Dominique Thompson was Kelly Sheffield saying that if she's going to run that slide, that she's not in a gap, that she can remember she has to tip right over the block because she is facing a very physical block right now. So the challenge is to get really creative if you're a hitter for Wisconsin and you're facing a big block.
Yeah, Thompson not much taller than Morales, just 5'11". She leads them in kills, and here she goes again.
Well, you sure got to like how Wisconsin goes right back to that, the confidence that they show, even though the previous swing behind got stuffed.
They were real frank with us talking to them this week. They said, we really didn't think that this was possible at the beginning of the year. And then they started to buy in, win by win, and they brought what Kelly Sheffield was serving up. Hey, not only can we be good, we can be great. As Scott gets the kill.
Ariel Scott with her 15th kill. Remember, an effective hitter, especially at the sidelines. Anything above 300 is a nice effort. She's hitting .406 right now. That's the go-to player for Penn State down the stretch. She's been so effective.
She's been getting more of the swings with Mcclendon struggling. They again are able to use the block for the kill. Carlini continues to set it to that side, and it's working.
And you don't want to get too tricky at this point. You find what's working and you stick with it. Penn State has found what works, and that is Ariel Scott. Wisconsin found what works, and that's setting behind, running the slide.
Carlini. And the block by Courtney. That time Megan held the line.
Yep, that's not the slide attack. That's where Wisconsin has struggled a little more. The opposite, Courtney Thomas hitting right into that strong left hand of Megan Courtney's, who now checks out of the game. Penn State trying to upgrade their serve pressure on the Wisconsin passers.
It's Kendall Pierce back in. Slade has also rotated out.
And that's the difference. The middle hitters, the middle attackers for Wisconsin, very effective on that slide approach, the one-footed approach. Less effective off 2 feet from number 3, Courtney Thomas, the opposite.
Haley Nelson got that kill. Chapman with the serve. Wisconsin 4 points away from the set. Hancock, Grant. They'll try a slide of their own for the point.
Certainly returning the favor. Of course, somebody who's been so effective on the block, Katie Slade, now checking into the match. At times, she's been focused on that slide attack behind the Wisconsin setter, Carlini. Let's see where Slade goes.
Hickey, the pass to Carlini. Right. Slade will set Mcclendon. Carlini looks to Morales. Thomas sets it up for Nelson and the kill.
What presence of mind for Nelson to realize that an opposing middle is playing defense in that area. That's something that is really good to be aware of, because if you need an outlet, if you don't get the connection, you drop it in front, and most middles can't pick that up when they're defending in the backcourt.
Hancock looks to Mcclendon, and she's rejected. Badgers out blocking Penn State tonight.
Watch Mcclendon drag it down into the 5'7" blocker. You got to make that ball clear the net by more than a few inches.
Final timeout for Penn State. Wisconsin 2 points from the set.
And this is what Coach Sheffield for Wisconsin hoped would happen in the last set. If they can just get the belief, prove to themselves that they're capable of taking one set off of this Big Ten winning team, only one loss through a very tough season.
And as we fight for the Division I National Championship here tonight in Seattle, congratulations to Concordia St. Paul. The Golden Bears winning their 7th consecutive Division II championship. And in Division III, Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, winning for the 2nd time in 4 years. Congratulations to Concordia and Calvin as well. And boy, it's a heck of a year for Midwestern volleyball. They're going to take all 3 national championships at the 3 different levels, as a Big Ten school is guaranteed to win here in Division I. Beth Mullins, Karch Kiran, Maria Taylor with you tonight in Seattle. Penn State looking for a 6th national championship. It would be the first for Wisconsin in their 2nd trip to the finals.
And the key for the Wisconsin Badgers is just hit your normal serve. Don't try to do anything different. The last set, when they were up and trying to close it out, they tried to do too much, missed, and forced or caused 2 costly errors.
It will be the libero, Anne-Marie Hickey, behind the line. And continue to pick on Courtney. Slade popped up. Hickey bumps it out to Morales. Chance for Penn State in transition. Again, they go to Slade. Thompson sent it back. Somehow Mcclendon got it over. Here's Morales. Wide. No touch. Point Penn State.
And Penn State in a nice rotation. They've got Hancock at the line and their best offensive weapon at the pins at the sidelines. Ariel Scott checking back in.
Carlini, the back set. They go to the slide, and Thompson kept up by Penn State. Here's Mcclendon. Can't get much on it. Carlini, the quick to Thompson, and they got it. Set point Badgers.
This is what Wisconsin likes to do in transition. Have that quick hitter run 10, 15 feet away to space. Misconnect, but scores the point. Set point, 24 for Wisconsin.
Hancock looks to Slade, got the tips. So now it'll be set point on serve receive for Wisconsin. Mcclendon will rotate out, and it's Prieto Saramian.
And if you're Penn State, your blockers are looking for it to go behind Lauren Carlini on the one-footed slide.
And the service error gives the set to Wisconsin. And for the first time in 3 matches this season, they take a set from the Nittany Lions and they stay alive in the championship match. A little bit more to smile about for Wisconsin as they take the third down 2-1.
Fatigue, pain, tears, sweat and sacrifice and commitment. I love what I do. Do you? Welcome to the postseason.
Had some tough losses, some tough times during the regular season, did Dominique Thompson in Wisconsin. They said, we used to wish for good things to happen, and we learned that we had to make some good things happen. And Cart, she has been their go-to with that slide play here tonight.
Got to earn the right to be confident, and Wisconsin finally did in that set. Their bread and butter has been this fast offense behind, the one-footed approach. Of course, Thompson very effective with that. She now has 4 blocks, but she is using the block, getting over the block, finding the daylight, and expect Wisconsin to continue to go to that side of the court.
Their best outside, Ellen Chapman, quiet, just 3 kills. And for Penn State, the player that Russ Rose calls their best, Deja Mcclendon, struggling mightily, 6 kills, hitting 0.
In that last set, she had only 1 kill and 4 errors on 11 swings.
And the much smaller Wisconsin team out blocking Penn State right now as Hancock strikes with the left.
That's a good choice by Hancock. Some of her hitters having a little trouble. If she's in a position to swing, she can open things up for her hitters later in the set. She's at the service line now. Pass too close.
Point for Penn State. Well, we've talked about Deja Mcclendon, the MOP as a freshman. She was lights out in the semis a couple of nights ago, but Maria, you heard Russ talking to her during that last break.
Yeah, well, when he took her out, subbed her in for the one serve, he was telling her, you focus on your blocking. He wasn't even stressing hitting at all, guys. You know, she does affect all facets of the game, so it sounds like he wants her to focus on something else, not necessarily just hitting, and maybe that offense will come around.
She has been doing so much for them. She's come a long way since her freshman year to become an all-around player. As Wisconsin gets the ace again, it's Courtney Thomas.
The trickler over the net, but that is exactly right, Maria. When you have to carry the load in so many ways, like a Deja Mcclendon, you have to execute all 6 phases of the game: receive, serve, set, hit, block, defend. Then focus on the other things that are going to make your team better if one part of your game is struggling.
Ariel Scott, who's led them in kills tonight, picks up another one. Point Penn State. Struggled in the 2 regular season matchups with Wisconsin. The Badgers have her number again thus far tonight. Wisconsin relies and plays such strong defense. Carlini lifted that one out to Thompson. Point Penn State.
She's trying so hard to go to the effective play there. That pass was not the appropriate one to try to push that ball back. Got called for a mishandled ball.
Scott outside the antenna. Point Penn State, or excuse me, point Badgers. And Morales back to serve. Enjoying a breakout season under the tutelage of Kelly Sheffield. Courtney. And Scott puts it straight down. Point Penn State.
Some of the Wisconsin Badgers wondering if there was any part of the ball available for Ariel Scott. A little hard to tell from that angle. She has to have some sliver of the ball on her side of the plane of the net to touch it.
Driving get by Mcclendon, and they cannot send it back across. Point Badgers. A year ago, Kelly Sheffield didn't even have the job yet. He was still at Dayton. He interviewed at Wisconsin. We talked to him earlier this week. Why did you want the job? They had struggled so much over the last 5 years. He said, because it's freaking Wisconsin. And it's a great fan base and a great recruiting base. And his one question was, you've got to let me go after Penn State, Nebraska, and Minnesota, the top dogs in the league. I need to be able to compete with them. And he got the support of the administration to do it.
He said it's the best job in the country, and he just wondered, was the administration willing to go after those big guns? Don't want to go after them with one hand behind your back. First-year coaches, John Cook, of course, winning at Nebraska. Dunning doing it at 2 different schools. But the resounding answer from the administration is absolutely full support to try to help this Wisconsin team get back to prominence.
And both of these sides benefiting from what the coaches call the best the Big Ten has ever been. That coming from Russ Rose, who's been in the league since Penn State joined. He's got their national championships. Nebraska's came before they joined the Big Ten. They go back to the slide, the tip, and it's good, effective yet again.
And Penn State is choosing to block this one-on-one. You'll see the middle blocker in your screen, Nia Grant. She goes the other way, one-on-one, wide open. Grant has to stay in that play and maybe make the defensive touch.
Hancock looks to Courtney, the tip, pancaked up, and then they'll go outside the antenna. Point Nittany Lions. Badgers have not been in a 5-set match in the postseason. The Nittany Lions needed 5 to beat Stanford in the region final if we have to go the distance. Service error. Let's see, they've been trying their best to pick on number 17 in white, Megan Courtney, with the serve. Instead, they serve it at Mcclendon. They want to try and keep her busy as well. Deja will get a swing, and she's stuffed again. Wisconsin all over the All-American.
Mcclendon 2 nights ago was hitting the ball to the perimeter. Here you see her dragging the ball down. It barely crossed the net. You don't want to hit middles in their elbows. You want to hit them in their fingertips. That's an effective serve, really flat and fast.
Cross cart, Carlini digs it up. Morales pushes it deep and down.
Well, it's important to see when you're a blocker and a defender. If the ball goes tight, you got to know that a tip, an off-speed play is coming. Penn State didn't see it soon enough to come up with that.
Chapman floats one over. Back set, that is rejected. The shorter Wisconsin side with a 4-point edge in blocking tonight.
Wisconsin's got to feel good. They're getting Penn State out of their game a little. Penn State almost never runs a back row attack to Ariel Scott. You know, when they're trying something new like that, you forced them into their second or third choice on offense.
Mcclendon.
Oh, that ball
that
would have
been long. Yep. Morales with the touch, but just wide.
Break for Penn State. You and I both felt that ball was going long past the end line for Wisconsin, and then they couldn't even get it back in play.
Mia Grant serving. Morales off the fingers. Back out to Deja. And Mcclendon gets a kill.
And the difference there is how much higher she contacted that ball and how much deeper she aimed. She didn't drag it down into the middle blocker. She hit it high off the fingers. Those are the ones that create much more effective kills.
8th kill with 7 errors tonight for Deja. Penn State back within 1. Carlini the quick. Nelson tried to bat it back across. And the ping pong point, Wisconsin.
You see how high Penn State's reaching. They're trying to play the ball way up above their heads, but you have so much more time to play the ball if you just get low, bend your knees, and play it close to the ground. Too much impatience on the Penn State side of the net.
Hancock, the quick to Slade, and that is sent back. More good defense from Wisconsin.
There's another high play.
Hickey to Carlini, looking to Morales.
Got to set that ball more inside for Morales.
Scott out of the back. Ooh. That doesn't get down. Penn State wanted a whistle there. Back outside, Mcclendon gets a better swing on that one as well. Point Penn State.
One of the things Wisconsin's been really good at is if the ball comes up, they can put it in a good spot for somebody like Morales to swing at. That play, several times they had a chance and they weren't able to put it in the spot. You need to control the ball like that to beat such a good Penn State squad.
Here comes the big lefty serve from Hancock. Thompson keeps it alive. Free ball, Wisconsin. Carlini looking at Morales. Gonzalez gets it. Back set to Scott. Penn State ties it up, and another Hancock serve coming.
Ariel Scott with such a big arm. That's her 19th kill, hitting .366. Carrying this offense at the sidelines for Penn State.
Season high 22 in the region final against Stanford. Another strong serve from Hancock. She'll send it out to Mcclendon. Back to back on the Hancock serve.
Got to give Deja Mcclendon credit. After she got stuffed, she's been reaching and extending and hitting the deep part of the court much more effectively. It's like a wake-up call she got.
4 kills in this set now for Deja. Carlini. Hancock, the back set. Scott, and they are rolling now on the Hancock serve.
Hancock, she goes to Scott, then to Mcclendon, then to the Scott, going A, B, A there, and finding her pin hitters, finding her sideline hitters, front and back.
3 straight for Hancock. Badgers need a good pass here. The spinner to Carlini, out to Morales. Penn State gets the tips on it. Here they come again. Scott missed it long.
So we'll see if Courtney Thomas, the server, remember she had some success going at Megan Courtney straight down this sideline. She's targeting her again.
Courtney down to get it. Slade picked up by Hickey. Morales no, and Point, Wisconsin. Tied at 13. Badgers need the set to force a fifth. Penn State wins it, they win the championship. Nice. Carlini tracks it down. Chance here for Wisconsin. Carlini checks the D, looks for Thompson. More collisions on the Penn State side. Back to Thompson on the slide. Here comes Mcclendon. Chicken winged up. Carlini in the press row to save it.
Watch.
Hancock, back set.
What an up.
Pop back over to Scott. Point, Penn State. In the longest rally of the match. How about the D on both sides?
Love the hustle from both teams. Carlini and then Hickey coming up with this play, but it goes over. And they just can't control that touch off the block.
#21st kill of the match for Scott. Gonzalez was able to get to it. Carlini, back set for Thompson, rejected. Penn State by a pair as the teams will take a break. And we will remind you that Capital One Bowl Week continues Monday on ESPN. It's the East Carolina Pirates, the Ohio Bobcats, 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Also live on the Watch ESPN app from Tropicana Field down in St. Petersburg, the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. Well, what a difference a healthy Micah Hancock has made at that setter position and serving the ball as well. We'll take you back to the semifinals last year against Oregon when Hancock in the spot shadow will land on an opponent's ankle and twist her own. And she was not the same after that, and the Ducks eliminated the Nittany Lions.
And she actually came back in. She wasn't sure if she was actually going to be able to help their team. Wasn't sure if it was the right decision, but it took her a good 6 months to completely recover from those 3 ligaments that she sprained on that one play. Very common injury in volleyball.
She's got a double-double with 5 kills, a couple blocks, and they have served double-digit points on her serve. And how about that slide and the save for the junior out of Edmond, Oklahoma. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago, the last 2 seasons, the setter of the year. They've talked about grinding it out. You got to be that way when your dad was a boxer, your mom was a baller at Oklahoma State. And remember, the Penn State seniors have celebrated a national champion, but none of the other players, junior and below, they are looking for their first and the latest in this tradition-rich program that has dominated the last decade. This their 5th final in the last 7 years, and the previous 4 all resulted in national championships. Carlini still fighting to get the Badgers the first title in school history.
Lauren Carlini with that kill. She was actually told in the huddle that she can stay aggressive and to check over to see if anyone's following her or shadowing her in the middle blocker position, because we have not seen her going over on too much in this match, guys.
Yeah, for Carlini, that's just her 2nd kill, Maria. Back within 1. Hancock looking to Scott, sent back. Point Badgers. What a job by Wisconsin at the net tonight, out blocking the best blocking team in the country.
And now they're actually having success against the most effective sideline hitter, Ariel Scott, for Penn State.
Hancock looks to Slade in the middle. Badgers slowed it down. Carlini looks for Thompson. 3 in a row out of the timeout for the Badgers.
Watch how Thompson transitions from blocking, comes off, gets beyond the 3-meter line, and becomes a hitter. That's such hard work. And that effort creates a huge opportunity and the kill for Wisconsin.
Slade, the tip. Pancaked up by Hickey. Back set. Scott can't put it away. Carlini looking for Chapman. Down the line deep. Hickey with the pop to keep it alive.
Ooh,
whoa.
Maybe about half ball, half hand there. Maybe a very short stack on that one, but great hustle. You gotta love how Hickey stays in the play.
May have been a few splinters in the flapjack,
Yeah.
but Wisconsin will take it 4 in a row and a 2-point lead here in the 4th.
And that kind of hustle, and the hustle we saw in the previous play from number 14, Dominique Thompson, is inspiring this Wisconsin team. It was like they were giving up, not giving up, but caving into the will of Penn State a little, down 15-13. What a response. They score the next 4 in a row.
Down 2 and rallying to win the national championship. Well, it's happened 3 times before. Penn State did it to Texas in 2009. UCLA rallied to beat Long Beach in 1991. And back in '82, Hawaii was down 0-2 to Southern Cal and came back to win. And that's what the Badgers are trying to do here tonight.
Yep, it starts with tough serving, which Wisconsin's been doing a lot of, except for some errors, and they create blocking opportunities, defensive opportunities. Remember, it was just 2 nights ago against a strong Washington team. Penn State hit 500. Now they're only hitting 200, getting held far below their season average by this strong block and backcourt defense of Wisconsin.
What a turnaround it's been for the Badgers. 9 more wins this year than they had last year. Their first win against a #1 team in 16 seasons. The first time ever for them. 3 top 10 wins, including against #1 Texas in the semis. After they spent the last 5 years watching the NCAA tournament from the sidelines.
And yet you got to credit former coach Pete Wade. He kept restocking as a fantastic recruiter. He locked in really the recruit of the whole class in Lauren Carlini.
Big ace for Penn State, knots it back up at 17.
That's not the kind of play you want to do. Let the ball drop untouched for an ace. Wisconsin got to get a platform on it. Much better contact there.
Carlini tried on 2 and double contact on Penn State. Point Badgers. This is how Wisconsin worked its way through the tournament. They did not face a seeded opponent until Texas. After the 4 and the 5 seeds both got bounced early out of their bracket.
Yep, Missouri and Florida out of the SEC. Missouri having an undefeated season until that loss.
Scott couldn't get much on that. Nelson hanging and just barely pushing it over. Scott a better swing there, and more Badger defense from Kavas. And then off the antenna on the swing, point Penn State.
What I like about this play is the defender, Kavas, stayed on her feet. She stayed balanced. We've seen it earlier in this match. Some people committing their weight too much toward one side or the other. And when you stay balanced, you can make plays like that.
Tough pass there. Carlini tries to clean it up. Bumped over, free ball. Carlini, the back set. Nelson covered. Penn State can't get another good swing on it. They'll go back to Courtney, and it's blocked.
There's the other dimension of a setter who's 6'2" on your side of the net. She's not going to be what we would call a blocking target, somebody you want to attack at.
Carlini now serving. They'll go back out wide to Courtney. Covered. Chapman.
Oh, what an up by Fuller.
And long on the swing. Point Wisconsin. Substitution. Prieto Cerame back in for Penn State.
And Penn State just going with 2 passers now. See if Carlini can get them in trouble. Fails to do so there.
And the sub will get a swing and deliver.
Guys, what we're seeing from Wisconsin right now are some great block touches that are slowing down the swings of Penn State. They're just getting the top of the block, giving their defense an opportunity to play behind them, but ultimately it's the front line of defense, and it's slowing down some balls and helping out their D.
Penn State hitting under 200 now, Maria, and there is the service error, and the Badgers are 4 points away from tying it up. Service errors today for Penn State,
including 3 for Prieto Cerame.
The ace off the tape.
The rules changed a number of years ago, permitting the serve to hit that tape, and those are brutal. That's where a setter like Micah Hancock has to stay ready. She actually has to be part of the service reception when it dribbles over.
A timeout called by Penn State, their last. Down 3 are the Nittany Lions here in the 4th. They jumped out to the 2-0 lead, and now Wisconsin closing in on forcing that 5th set. We've got NFL Sunday for you on ESPN, kicking off at 10 a.m. with Sunday NFL Countdown, then at 11 o'clock on ESPN2. Catch fantasy football now for a lot of folks. There are championship games this weekend. Who the experts think will be the top performers in the finals. NFL Sunday starts on ESPN at 10 o'clock, and then ESPN2 at 11 a.m. There are the teams that have rallied from 0-2 deficits to win the finals. Hawaii in 02, UCLA in 91. And then this Penn State program in 2009, after they fell behind 0-2 to Texas, rallied to win it all.
And remember, it was Coach Sheffield at the break trying to inspire himself a little. He said, wouldn't that be a great story?
Yeah.
Coming back from 0-2, we were right there, and we just made those service errors at the end of set number 2. Had they not done that, it could easily be a 2-1 lead for Wisconsin.
Unranked preseason, they were projected to finish in the middle of the pack of the Big Ten. And they have continued all year long to exceed expectations and prove the doubters wrong. Chapman. And the kill for the Nittany Lions. Mia Grant. And now Katie Slade comes back in up front for Penn State.
Remember how big she was against Stanford in the regional final. A number of kills and blocks, turning that match around for her. Here's an opportunity she faces very similar. Down 2 points.
Good pass to Carlini. Out to Morales. Tools the block.
And Slade was there, but she just couldn't turn her hands where the ball where she wanted it to go. She was pointing them out of bounds, and it rebounded out. Easy point, Wisconsin.
Hickey, service error. Think of where Wisconsin could be right now without the 2 costly service errors that gave away the second set.
It's a fine line because you know you have to serve tough. You know you're going to make some errors, but down the stretch you want to make a good team. Have to actually pass, set, hit, make 3 contacts.
And there goes Micah Hancock with the ace.
Especially when Micah Hancock's the next one up at the service line.
Timeout, Wisconsin. They've got 1 left. Well, Penn State fans You couldn't have it set up better for them with Hancock serving.
It's going to curve to our left. She finds the space, and Hancock has been serving very effectively in the NCAA semifinals. 2 7-point runs against Washington 2 days ago. A big run today, and here an opportunity to pull her team tied and maybe ahead, finish this match out.
Trying to reach for a piece of history as Penn State and their head coach Russ Rose. He's already a Hall of Famer, has more national championships than any other coach, and he talks often about what a privilege it is to be a Penn State student athlete. He says, I demand that they earn this jersey every day in practice and every time we take the floor. That's what he demands of his players, and it has served them well over the years. With 5 national championships, looking to tie Stanford with a 6th. They're trying to come from behind here in the 4th to get it.
Talk about earning it. At the All-American banquet yesterday, Ariel Scott was asked, what have you learned from Coach Rose? I learned not to be a baby. You can't be a baby and be a success in life. That's earning it.
Who's got the toughness here to finish out the 4th? Hancock, Carlini, back out to Morales. Touched it on the block. Mcclendon, back to Carlini, back set. Thomas, can't find the 4. Katie Slade will set Scott. Overpass, and the 6'6" Slade jumps on it.
So you got to figure out, if you're Coach Sheffield, do you call another timeout and try to ice the server? And he does.
It's been the case this entire semis and finals in Seattle, scoring repeatedly on the Hancock serve for Penn State. And now, if one or the other can rattle off a couple of points in a row, the title will be theirs. Here's what Stanford was able to do. They were the dynasty in the 90s, from Bev Oden and Carrie Wendell through Kristen Focal and Carrie Walsh, Lisa Sharpley, and then in 2001 led by Logan Tom. And then getting that 6th championship as the 11th seed, the lowest to ever win it. Lagana Namani, Bryn Kehoe, Kristen Richards. And Penn State giving chase. And isn't it ironic, part of the story here, they are trying to beat another freshman setter and a team that is trying to go Stanford one better and be a 12 seed to win the national championship. Maria, what you got from the Wisconsin huddle?
Coach Sheffield telling his team, right now, you believe that you're going to win this match. We side out, we get a serve, we score, and we win. And we're going to push it to 5 and go ahead and win. But he said, first of all, looked everyone in their eyes and said, you have to believe it in this moment right now, ladies.
Hancock to serve. Neither side has a timeout left. Hancock off the tape, and it is now match point for the Nittany Lions. Carlini. Chance here for Penn State. Slade will set it to Scott. Off the tip, still alive. Carlini. Thompson blocked and tipped back across by Mcclendon. And the Penn State Nittany Lions return to the top and tie the NCAA record with a 6th national championship. The Penn State seniors bookend national championships thanks to the lethal service game of their junior setter, Micah Hancock, a 5-0 run on her serve to come from behind and close it out. And Maria Taylor has Coach Russ Rose.
Coach, you called a timeout at 19-22 and your team fought back to win that fourth set. What was the change?
Well, I mean, we had 3 seniors in the front row. You know, the game, one of the rules I don't like is the one where the ball hits the net and, you know, falls over. We had one at the end helped us, and they had a couple in that game that helped them. So, you know, I mean, we played hard. You know, you have to give a lot of credit to Wisconsin. They're a terrific team. They play really hard. You know, I told Kelly that when I saw them the first time at the beginning of the year that, you know, I just love the way their guys go, play really great defense, and keep the game alive. So we feel fortunate to have won and excited to have a chance to celebrate a little bit.
Well, your setter, Micah Hancock, went back to the sideline, was able to serve you guys to a victory, and a serve that's been hot and cold. What's been required of her to manage through a little bit of that low point and be able to step to the service line?
She's a tough kid, and you know, you have the one, you know, in the one game she misses 2 or 3 serves, and we lose a close game because, you know, that's how we scored all our points at the end. So, you know, you live and die by the sword like that. So, you know, it's a great win. The kids played hard, and you know, we'll have a little fun for a little bit now.
Well, a 6th national title for Penn State. What do you have to say about these seniors who are going to go out with 2 titles under their belt, and what have they meant to this program?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of work to get them to understand what it was going to take to win a championship with them being in charge. It's a lot easier when we had the seniors and they were freshmen. But so we battled a lot, and you know, I bet right now they'd say it was worth it.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, Penn State winning their 6th national championship and doing it late in the 4th, Coach.
Those big service runs in the semis and now in the finals for Micah Hancock, really the difference in breaking it open.
Once again, our final score, Penn State 3, Wisconsin 1, as the Nittany Lions take home the national championship. Deja Mcclendon, one of those seniors, ending it here on match point to finish off the late rally. Coming up next, college basketball, Oklahoma State and Colorado. And the 2013 national championship. They'll hang another banner from the rafters at Rec Hall. For Coach Cry, Maria Taylor, I'm Buck Mullins. Thanks for joining us in Seattle. Now let's get you to Dave Fleming. Point in the national championship, and Penn State celebrates. They take the last 5 points to win it. And here is Maria Taylor with the MOP, Micah Hancock.
Micah, you're very emotional at the end of this match. Just describe what's going through your mind right now and how it feels to be a champion.
I mean, we've worked 3 long years for this, 2 whole ones, and it's just great that it finally paid off. You know, it's nice to see Coach with a genuine smile, and I mean, it's great to have this feeling with teammates that have been so close to me for 3 years now, so it's just awesome. I can't explain it.
Well, you had to step back onto the service line and serve 4 straight serves and erase a deficit. What's going through your mind as you go back there to serve the ball?
You know, in this match especially, I was just thinking it's this one or, you know, it's nothing, you know, so I just was trying to hit it hard. My calves were cramping. I was jumping, and I was like, well, whatever. Like, this is the national championship match. I'm not making any excuses, so, you know, I just went back there and tried to hit it hard.
You guys are a team that talked about having regrets last year. You talked about the adversity that you've experienced. How does that make this win that much sweeter?
You know, it was that whole grind. All those years we grinded, it just came out on top now. So, I mean, I couldn't be more happy.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, she did it with her passing, with her serving, a little bit of everything for the most outstanding player, Coach.
She really does help her team in so many ways with that left-handed attack. She can hit, she can block. She has the height at 5'11", and of course she locates the sets and runs the offense as really the quarterback. And can score in 6 different ways, all the skills for her team, including that run to finish out another title, a 5th title since 2007.
And it was the service game of Hancock, not only tonight in the finals, but in the semis as well in the win over Washington. So the Penn State Nittany Lions, they get that 6th national championship that ties the NCAA record dating back to the Stanford dynasty back in the 1990s, and now Penn State stands right there with them at the top.
And they're reloading with a huge recruiting class again. Watch out. In this day and age, with recruiting so competitive, to win this much is amazing.
Well, congratulations to Penn State, the national champs for 2013, their 6th title in their 9th trip. They lost the first 3 times they played in the finals, and now they have won their last 6 times as they celebrate with their trophies. Penn State winning the title, Division I volleyball for 2013.